Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
We are going to cover all these topics today. For example, we'll see what is a class, what are the configurations, because this was we started yesterday, but we need to refine it more in detail. We have picked it again. After this one, we will go through what is a work list, what is a work basket, and how to configure it. And then we will see what are the data models. And then we'll try to add some fields into our application forms. Then we are going to discuss about the routing and what are the different kinds of approval provided in PEGA. This is our today's agenda. Quickly, we can jump on to our class configuration. Alright. I just want to check with you once. If you have discussed about whenever we build an application, there is a PEGA based product. Over that there is the organization layer. Over that we have application layer, and over that we have implementations. Right. I hope you remember this part. What I did is this time I divided the same concept in our application. If you see, our application is also based out of PEGA application. We are using one base layer, that is a PEGA base class and PEGA base class. Usually we notify or we write it down using this character length at the right base class. On the base class, we are building an organization that is care. Over that care, we are building an application called life care. And over life care, we are building a case type with insurance. But at the same time, I can build different case type also at the same level. Suppose for now life care is only starting the business and insurance, but they want automation in claims also. They will create some automatic process for claims. They might want to introduce one more, 1, 3, 2, any number of case types they can create on this application. How the class structure will become. The PEGA base class will always be our, you can say the base product which is at the right base class. Over that we are building. 1 minute, where is the implementation layer? Implementation layer is this one only application. For example, let me see if I have the diagram with me. This is our excellent care. We are not using any division layer. We are not using any framework layer. Because if you see division, we created for some particular purpose. Like if you want to create application, like status specific, you want to create one application. Let's say one insurance application for USA, one application for India, one application for Australia, but we are not doing anything like that. There is no division layer. What we're missing is a division and other framework layer, right? These things are not there. Whatever we are building, That is the implementation layer. What is throwing me off is if it feels like the tree is upside down. Normally all charts, it's always organization going down, but this one feels like we're going from a larger scope to a smaller scope. We are going up, for example, and we also see why it is like this, but I'll show you this part once. Suppose I will create one new organization. A new application itself built at home. Trash traditional UI advanced configuration. You see this framework, implement this. If I set this framework, because if you remember to create our organization, we have selected implementation. That's why we have implementation layer. But if I go back framework, then only framework layer. This framework layer will come. You're able to get it wrong. I get it because I haven't selected framework. This framework layer is not there and I have not selected any division also. There can be select division. Suppose I select framework. I'll select framework. I'll select everything. Application is there. You see, now the structure is like test, then FO. FO signifies the framework class. Then the structure will become different. Then structure will be like care for life care because a full will come because after organization we will have one framework or division. If you see, I select the implementation here. Now you see we have an option for generate division layer. For our example, division layer is not there. If I select this one, you will get one more option for division. Let's say this one, then the structure will become different. Then division is introduced between organization and application. That's why if you see in our application, whole layer is not there. This division and framework layer is not there. If we have framework and division, which one in hierarchy of things? Are they side by side or does anyone take precedence? No. You see, all these things that exist at same level, right? They are side by side. Alright, this part, we are good. Let's go back to this part. Now we understand like how the class structures are getting formed. Let's set up the class contain the rules which PEGA provides us. Like all the source code which PEGA used to build this platform, all the source code existing at the right base class. If you want to reuse anything, we have to reuse it through this class only. I mean like suppose if there is a calculator which is designed by PEGA like a basic calculator and that will be available at the right base class. And suppose you want to reuse that and then you want to extend it more. What you can do, you can save as the same calculator base code from base class. You can save it in your insurance class and then you can modify it. You can make it more enhanced, more better to UI, better functionality in insurance class. In the next part, we will see how the rules are getting called and what is a series of that execution. What is I mean? But at which level we start, at which level we end. Till now, we got it. The class structure will be like at the end we have the base class. Above that, we have a care which is care dash. Above that, we have life care. It will be like care-life care app. This is our application name. That's why I'm adding app and then work. Work will always be there. Wherever application will come, work will be there. Then we have the case types. For now, we have only insurance. After work, we have insurance. Suppose if tomorrow we will add one more case type claims, then it will be like I'll add it. Now, yesterday I also informed you about the inheritance. Like suppose if we want to inherit some rules, because that's what classes are used for, rather than creating new things like the same thing again and again, we can use some stuff. For that purpose, PEGA provides us two types of inheritance. That is a pattern inheritance and direct inheritance. Now pattern inheritance, you can see from here. Suppose I'll take this example now. You created one view or called section in PEGA with the name is basic details. Now inside basic details, you have provided one field called first name. Now same section or same view you have created in this class. Now because the name is same and this time field is only name first is not there. And again you have created same view, same section in care dash. Section name is still same. This time field name is last name and the base class it does not exist because it's a custom section. PEGA will not provide us. And if we create a case, then what do you think? Which one will come out of these three? Which one? What I'm trying to say is we have created a section or a view. Yesterday we saw view in which two fields were there. Whenever we create a case, there is a view. Suppose in this insurance class, we created a view with the name basic details and that view contained only one field, first name. Now, same view we created in this class also in the application class. And here first name is modified to name. Now same thing is again created in the organization level, but this time the name is changed to last name. Now when we call it into the case, what will happen? That only this one will come. These things will not come. Because the top priority is, it's been modified over and over. Yes, this is modified. But if you see the priority wise, the case type has the highest priority. Then application has the highest priority. Then if we have the framework, then framework has the highest priority. Then organization has the highest priority and then we have the base class. For example, if same rule exists at multiple layers, then whichever has the highest priority. If that particular level, the rule exists, then it will execute that one. Otherwise, it will check for the below version. For example, when we created the case, PEGA first will see if this rule exists in insurance class or not. If yes, PEGA will show this one. End user will see this thing. Is this almost similar to the case of assigning values to variables? Come again. Oh, it's different. Is this any way similar to assigning values to variable? Let's say we'll write a function and we'll give it a default value. But somewhere in that function, in that program, we assign a new value when you run it. Since there is a new value, it's going to use that. Unless there is nothing, then it takes a default. Exactly. From where the default value is coming, default is coming from that default class, correct? Yes, that's correct. Same thing is there. Suppose when I created the case because PEGA found that basic detail exists at insurance class, it already there. It will not execute these things. But suppose if I deleted this one, if this one is deleted and I called this section in case, then PEGA will come to insurance class. It will try to find basic detail and PEGA will not able to find it. Then it will go below. As per pattern inheritance, it will come down to life care. Then it will see if basic detail exists or life care or not. If yes, then it will show this one. Then end user will see name instead of first name. Makes sense. This is the hierarchy. PEGA follows from top to bottom. PEGA always checked from case type, application framework divisions, then organization and then base class. This is the inheritance path or the process of rule calling. Pattern as in this pattern work life, care app, care app. This is the pattern, right? This is one, this is another one. This is third one. This is fourth one. This is a pattern and direct means, suppose I direct manually. I manually point this class to point to base class. I don't want to check these things. I want to skip this. I want to skip this. I directly want to check. If rule does not exist in this class, then directly check for base class. Then that is a direct inheritance because manually I'm giving that class name. That kind of inheritance, we can call it as the direct inheritance. In pattern, we have to follow the structure one by one, like what is the case type, then application, then framework, organization and base layer. We have to follow this hierarchy, but in direct we have to manually give this class and I'll show you. Where is the portal? Now we can cancel this one. You see care life, care app work. Correct. This is the same thing we are checking care life, care app. Work inside work. We have insurance, but in tomorrow we will add claims. Then it will come inside this same inside work. It will be claims also. This is like this. This is R1 class. Now the class definition rule you always find in sysadmin in class. Let's open this one. You see, class inheritance, find by name first. That means pattern. Suppose if rule does not exist, then what will happen? First, it will try to check in this whole class if it exists or not. If no, then it will check in this till work, which is application as per this one. If this will not exist, the framework is not there, then it will check in care life, care app. If here also doesn't exist, then it will check in care. And it does not exist, then it will go for the base class and direct. You see parent class direct. That means manually, they are passing this thing. They have provided this one, but if required, I can modify also. I can give directly base class. You see, base class is there. Now, what does this signifies that if rule will not come, then it will directly jump from this to this. Makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. Any doubt till now in this part? Now it's clear. This part we are good. Let's see one theory topic once and then we go to the application to create some stuff. Alright. We are going to discuss about the work list and work basket. Now work list. It's very simple to understand. Basically, it's a pool of tasks, but that pool is assigned to a particular individual. For example, you have your own work list. I have my own work list. Your pending task. You will find in your work list my pending task. I'll find it my work list. Right. Suppose insurance. I'll take this sample right. Insurance checking. Alright. Suppose an insurance when an end user creates an application. Those things are routed to the credit check team for the credit check. Now suppose if there is only one individual in the credit check team, then we can route all the cases to their work list because it's a single person. Everything we can route it to his work list. Whenever he will log in, he can go to his work list. He can see how many assignments are there that he needs to complete. He can pick one of them and start working on it. But suppose it's a very big organization. Millions of people are there. Then what will happen? We need a separate team for credit check because now there is not a single individual. It's a team of credit check and thousands of people are working the credit check team. This time we will create a work basket. Work basket. We can also call it as a basket which contain all the pending assignments or the open assignment that anyone who belongs to that team can pick. For example, suppose you and me both are from the credit check team, right? And there is a credit check work basket. Whenever a user create a case and submit, the task will be routed to the work basket. And because you and me both points to that work basket, we can access any case from that particular basket and we can start working on it. Makes sense? It makes sense. And the work list PEGA provides us a class that is assigned work list. And for work basket, PEGA provides us data admin work basket. These are the certain classes which you have to remember. You have to learn basically because these are things which will never change. For work list, it is always be assigned work list. These are default things, again, part of the PEGA product at the right base class and work basket is data admin work basket. We have seen these two things, class and configuration, work list and work basket. We'll jump on to data model. Before jumping on data model, any other doubt? No questions. Now data model is kind of a very important topic for us because data model basically hold or store the data or whatever. You see, right now we're creating first name, last name, middle name. We're talking about the credit check, how things will happen. That means we are involving a lot of data in the application, but what are we going to do with it? How we're going to save it? That basically controlled by data models. I can simply go to application and we can see what happened. Where is our case type? Is it deleted or what? This is our case type. Now, if you remember that we have to add like personal detail fields because at the end user are going to enter those details in the form. From where it will come from the data models you see above. We have one tab data model. Either I can create from here or you see we have one more tab here in the records data. I can click and right now it says no data object. But I can create my data objects. I'll create one from both. You have an idea. I click on this data object. Basically, in data object, we are going to create properties in PEGA. We call it as a property. Everything is a property like where the data will hold. For example, data object names will be person. Where it will save it in the implementation class. Implementation means it will be saved in our insurance class. Because suppose if I will save this in the organization class, it doesn't make sense, right? Because for claims it might not be useful. If for a third party it might not be useful. What are I creating that will be for insurance only? I'll keep it at the implementation class. Define source data now next. Connection detail where we are going to store it in the PEGA. But suppose if there is any third-party database link, maybe SQL, Elo or Oracle, that option you will get here. But right now it's only PEGA. How do you want to create a data model? You can manually create or you can import Excel sheet or you can use even AI to set the data model. I'll create one manually. Just taking a lot of time. You see, one data object is created with the name person. Do you know like SQL? In SQL, we have a primary key. We have primary, secondary, composite, foreign and all of that. Correct, correct, correct. Basically, whenever you create a data object, we need a primary key. If we don't give anything by ourselves, PEGA will create this for us. For example, this guide. PEGA is created this one as key. You see here it is auto-generated and it's a rate only. Whenever you add an instance or whenever you add a new record, PEGA will increment this one by any number. It's auto-generated. We can't control it, but it will always be unique. It will help us to uniquely identify that particular set of record. Alright now, data object is created. Now we'll create some attribute or the properties inside person. I'll go here and do add field. We'll create some properties. For example, first name is required. It is a kind of a text. I'll keep it text. I'll submit and add another field name. Let's say this time I'll create last name. This is also text. Now address is required. Address is also text. Submit and add another. Now add email. Email is of type email. Yes, PEGA will automatically picking these types also. Very smart. These are the types which PEGA support. Text to single line text paragraph boolean, which is like true or false currency. Like if you want to deal with the money, like for different countries, euro, dollar, Indian rupee, all those data and time date, only decimal values. Email, which we are using for email, integer percentage phone. That is phone number, then pick list. It is like a drop-down value where you have to select single from lot of option and time. Only then URL location like the Google Maps. If you want to store the location for any particular point, you can use this location property. Then prediction and these things we will see tomorrow because these are quite important. One, then query like SQL. Query you can form. For now, let's keep it simple. Let's go to email in the advance. If you see what is coming, ID is email. ID is the property identifier. Like how you will find that you can find email through email. If you search email right, then only you'll find this property description. I'm not giving anything the maximum length. This is a calculated field. Read only suppose if you want a field which is automatically calculated. For example, we can ask user to enter the date of birth, but the years or the age I will calculate automatically. That particular thing we can use through this. We'll also see how this will work. Submit and add another. Now I will add phone. Phone must be off. Most of these are basically black card, right? As your meaning regular database because looking at the length 256. Yes, this is the default. If you want to increase, you can increase. If you want to reduce, we can reduce, but that is the maximum length that PEGA is defaulting. Sometimes we have situations in which we have to increase these lengths and we have to reduce these lengths. If you want to go beyond PEGA, then custom we can write some SQL query. We can write some update commands. We can give update table name, table column, and what is the size, the form to give. And we can run that query because everything again is getting stored in table itself. You see, all these things are giving now. Inside person data, object we have these things first name, last name, address, email, phone number. I'll add one more data book. Only. I'll add one more which we will use to calculate the H is separate. We have these many fields in data model person. I'll save it once. Now I will go back. You'll see one data object is coming. Object is person data pages. This will be our CSA code. Will not touch this one. Then person, it is system of records PEGA. If you have SQL or Oracle, it might be that one. And if it is an external entity, then that will come. But currently it is within the PEGA. Now add one more, that is for insurance. Let's see how PEGA will suggest. I clicked insurance. I clicked on. It is not showing me here. A suggestion. Implementation now next. Manual you see again. PEGA created one primary key, that is PYGUID, which is auto-generated every time. I'll add fields now. We need insurance. It is going to be pick list because we can provide different types of options. We have to display the drop-down list, search box or radio button. I'll go with drop-down list. Pick list option local database. Let's keep it local. Let's add choices. Let's try to add with generated AI. Let's see how PEGA will add. How they're collaborating with Chat GPT. Auto insurance, health insurance, home insurance, life insurance, travel insurance. This is nice. I mean, AI is doing these kinds of jobs for us. This is good. Alright. They have added all the fields properly. I can submit and add another field. Let's say I'll add description. Then I think 2 fields are enough. I'll save it. Now we can see we have 2 data objects. And if you want to visualize also, suppose if multiple applications are there, then you can click on this view and it will show you the relationship of these data objects in application. Inside this insurance, we have 2 data object, person and insurance. Same thing you are affecting here. Now let's go back to the case type and try to add these data model into our screen. Suppose first I'll go for personal detail. I click on personal detail. I click on configure view. First name is already there, but I'll delete this one because I want to show you how we can reuse. You'll see fields and views. 2 options are there. That means either I can reuse any existing view or I can reuse some fields which is there in data model. Click on fields. Inside field, if I come down, it is not showing my big file. Oh, description is there. First name is there. Where is last name? First date is showing. Personal. For 1 second, 1 second. First name, date of birth, email, age, address. It is showing. It's not picking those data models. Let me add. Let's see. See, even if you try to create again with the same name, it says this instance already exists. That means it would allow you to create multiple because first name we already created. But there is some issue. It is not giving me the option to workflow. Then let me go to Alito off and logging once. Let's see if it is still not coming. Then we have to create it from inside. Still not showing. We have insurance. This. Anyways, let's not FaceTime here. I'll go to personal details, configure review. I'll add fields here. It will work the same thing. First then last name. I need to change the identified ones. Then we need address and gave us crunch. This will be of type phone. All these fields are added now. You see here be an option called optional and required read only and calculated read only. That means if I set it as required, then it will be a mandatory field. The end user won't be able to submit the screen without entering data in this particular property. Second is read only. That means user won't be able to edit the data. They just can read it. And the last one is calculated, read only. That means it is an automated calculated field. Automatically, data will come through a calculation in this field and which is always the read only. Now some methods. We configured this view. And now let's see. Let's create one case and let's see how it will come. I'll see it here. Save and run. Do you see? The form is coming. New insurance. Personally, it's a good show. This one number you can give anything. Email A, B, C thing, but the rate is not there. You can enter anything. But if you do not put it at, will it not screen as here? I mean, as of now, it will accept anything. It's an email type. Yes, it will not accept. You see, enter a valid email address. This is a basic validation. It will not check whether this is the correct domain or not. I understand that. What is the basic validation? Yes, if I submit now. See, now we're in insurance detail, but we have not configured any view for this one. It is coming empty. We can advance and in the credit check again, there is no view. It will come empty only. Verify detail is empty. Approval is automated one. Let's get this one. Then let's go back to this type. Let's add some fees for insurance. Configure view. One was insurance type. Pick list. Generate with AI. Drop down local. Submit at another. And one is description. Two fields are added in the insurance detail. Let's submit. Let's click on save and run and let's see how it will come. We got the same form. I have to get the random details here. In the new insurance, because we have added it will come in insurance type, we have to select auto insurance, health insurance, home insurance, life insurance. Let's say home insurance description. Anything I can give, then submit. Two screens we have completed. Let's go back to the case type. And let's add some fields for the credit check. I'll come here on configure view. This time I'll see if I can reuse this one. Last name, phone number. And I think that's it. That's it. This thing here. Let's submit. Let's make this read only for the credit check because we just want to read the data. I'll make everything as read only. Now we have added views for personal detail, insurance verify and for approval. It is already there at the default one from the base class. Now let's run. First name. Let's fill this. Insurance type auto insurance submit. You see, this time in verify detail under credit check, things are coming in the read only. That means user cannot modify these things. They can like the credit check. Member can only see the data and take an action where they want to review it, like for the read proceed or not. Like the credit check is also done. Post credit check, the case will be routed for the approval. Approve or reject. I'll approve. I'll close the case. Let's go back to the case type. This is a basic details about the data model, how to create, how to reuse, how to create this data model, where exactly it is showing in the class. Because we created an implementation, we have to go into this class insurance care, life care APOC insurance. You see this data model tab. If you expand, you will see property. If it's fine, you see, all these are created here. Vega is smartly calculating where exactly we have to store it. All these things are coming here. Process basically container case type. When we create a case type, it will be saved inside this process, inside this case type. This is the backend part. This is the front end in the KSA life cycle. You see like this in terms of steps, stages and process. But if you want to see the backend part, then this is the version. This is the version process, inside process. You have these stages. If you go to stages, it will give like collect. Detail is the initialization stage. Then we have two primary states, grid check approval. Then we have an alternate state approval detection. Status says, you can set here service level agreement also that we discussed on that day. You can set here the process which is inside this one approval. Like if I open this approval here, that means it's a I'm opening the process. There's a process. If you want to open it from here, you have to open this approval process. It will open the same thing. Same thing is that it's a back-end part and that is a front end. That is easy to understand. But if you want to see how it is coming on the back-end part, you can go to this particular process case type and be by default. Then inside process flow. Basically, whatever the process is right, those we also call as flow approval, flow collect details. All these things are flows. Let me go back. If I open this collect details, I'm opening this process. This process, we also call it as a flow. That's why you see all these things here. Collect details. This one rejected. Create form approval flow. These are flows. Flow action. Flow action basically shows you the UI because till now, open process or we can say open flow. This is the flow inside these things. We have this staged personal detail, insurance detail. Somehow, whatever the view we are adding, that is coming to this particular assignment, right? If you open this connector, you will see one flow action, personal detail. And if you open personal detail, what it contains? Basically, this is the backend part of whatever we are doing. It contained one section, personal detail. And if you open the section, section is nothing but the view. This section will contain all the fees. You see first name, last name. This is the design that is coming over there. Suppose if you want to modify it, if you want to rename it, and if you want to change the layout also, you will see this template is there, right? If I change here, suppose I want to do, let's say which one? Which design? That's this one. 2 comma. And if I save, I can drag some fields here. I'll come here. And in views, you don't have too many options because view, if you see, is a part of our App Studio, and in App Studio is for the business people because they don't have much technical knowledge. They can only add some fields. But if you want to modify the template, the design, the look and feel, then you have to come to the Dev Studio, and through the section rule you can modify this thing. I'll save it and I'll show you how it come up. And portal. Use a port. I'll go to this create insurance. You see now it is coming like this because they modified that in the section. These changes you can only do in section rule. If I want to summarize this particular part for you, then you can understand process, or we call as the flow. Contain flow action. It contains section. Right. Basically, there is a process. For example, I'll rename it as basic. And this is our form. Between the process and between the form, we have these through things, because of which you are seeing those fields. There is one flow action and there is one section. Whatever view you are modifying, for example, I'll go to the portal again. When you click on this view, personal details. When you are modifying this thing in the front end, in the back end, PEGA is modifying the section for you. Because App Studio is for the local developers or mainly for the business people. That's why PEGA is not showing all those complexity to you. But at the back end, you are modifying the section only. And in the Dev Studio, if you want to open a section directly, then you can go to this class, then user interface. And then section and then personal details. See, we have 3 sections, right? Why 3 sections we have? One for personal detail, one for insurance detail, and one more we have created for verified detail. If you want to see the names also, you see personal detail, insurance detail, and verified detail. These are the views only, but this is the back end part of the view. If you go to the App Studio, you see personal detail, verified detail, and insurance detail. You got it right. I mean any kind of doubt, any sort of doubt, that also we can check. That's not an issue. That's good. Basically, processes help you to design the UI. We will design it using shapes, connectors, and flow. Action is used to display the UI. Display as in we can include our section which we have prepared and then it will come. Process, design the UI, flow, action. Display the UI. These two things you can understand. Fields is done. I think routing and type of approval. We are already in time, but routing I can complete it. Then type of approval we can see tomorrow. Now, if you see currently, when I'm creating a case, everything is done by me. Right? Whether collect detail insurance, detail check, approve everything, I'm only doing. But that is not the correct way, right? Because in the real-time application, we have separate teams for separate work. Suppose this new insurance, this should be done by end user credit check, should done by someone else. This verify and approval should done by the manager or any other. How that will work? That will work using the routing. That means we have to route that particular work to the certain person at a certain point. For example, if I click on this personal detail, you see route to current user. That is the current user, it will be routed. And if you see verify detail, it is also set to current user. That's why it keeps on coming on me. But what I can do is I can assign it to a specific user. For example, we have only one individual for the credit check. I can assign, for example, I have created one ID for you, I guess. Let's say I've assigned it to you, Francis. Now for the task. It is saved, but let's see other options also. We can assign it to a specific user. Specific user is nothing but a work list. That means this case will be routed to their work list. Work queue. As you already understood, it is a pool of tasks which is assigned to a different team bus and any team member who have it access can pick those tasks. And business logic. Suppose if there is any weird business logic that you want to configure, for example, very detailed one are all open ones. For example, let's say if operator is available or not, if it is on leave, or if your operator is from that particular country or have that particular skill. Those logic based conditions you can give here and then it will go for routing. For example, suppose if there is a division layer. Just an example. And your application is operating in Germany, Finland, Ireland, a lot of different countries, Europe. Now, when you create it you want, the routing needs to happen with respect to the language. Suppose if the end user language is German, then the case should be routed to the German user list. If it is Dutch, then it should be routed to the Dutch list. You can configure that logic here because other two options will not come into the picture, right? Specific user work queue. We'll use this one business logic. At first, you will check the end user language German. Then you will check the employees which you have who is German. Those things will be done here. I'll make it again specific. See, but the main objective is to route the task to the right team or to the right individual at the right point. Save and done. Right, I'll run it from that. I'll run from end user. Let's say create insurance. This is coming. I'll print the data. Because I selected your name, because I created one operator ID for you. You see, now it is went. You see, right, correct. It is not there. This time not getting that form. But if I try to log in with your ID, let me check if I can do it. I'll go to the studio. This is your ID now. I launch portal user portal. And you see in my work list, one task is there. Insurance ILOSEN. Right. That means you just need to log in with your ID in your dashboard itself. You can find the task which is coming to you. You can click on go or you can click on this ID anything. You can open that work object. You see whatever I submitted in my screen, all those things are coming to you. Correct. Now if I submit this, it will again go back to me because in approval my ID is there. You won't be able to approve. I'll submit. See, it is done. Get approval is done. Thank you for this. This case has been routed appropriately. Now log off. Launch portal. This one. High priority. View all. No, this is not the one because that is in the approval. Let me see. Let's see. What was the ID? Oh, if you see, this default layout is given to us by PEGA. All these notification applications. This is designed by PEGA. We can just modify if required. Too much loading. There it is. I doesn't some get approval. I can click on go. Yes, this was the detail I passed. You see, this case has came to me for the approval. Now I can see this is pending approval. I can give my notes. You can give like approved and approved. Case is closed. This is the way routing will work. I hope you got a picture of how routing works in the business scenarios. And this type of approval we'll see tomorrow. Any doubt, Francis, till now before we close the call? You are good. Yes, I'm good. You are able to learn, right? And this is part of this course. Because definitely I can. I can say one thing because it's a new right. There's something new which you are learning. Terminologies are new because if I say data model, routing, case type, application, inheritance, these are some new terms. It might take some time for you to very much, comfortable and habitual. Once you start using these terms in your day-to-day, like every day, and you start implementing, then it will be on your tapes. Then these things are very simple. Alright, man. Thank you much. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.